Greetings of the day, everyone. This is Group 2. We are going to present a study on TPCODL. Our goal was to understand the organizational dynamics. Tata Power Central Odisha Distribution Limited, or TPCODL, is a company serving over 1.8 million consumers across 21 districts in Odisha. Today, we'll delve into the challenges and strategies involved in transitioning this vital utility service from a government run entity to a private sector model. In 2020, Odisha became the first Indian state to fully privatize its power distribution sector, marking a historic shift in how electricity is managed. This transition, however, came with significant challenges. TPCODL inherited a workforce accustomed to governmental hierarchies and had to integrate them into a private sector structure. Managing this organizational change is the focus of our study. Change management is a critical factor here as it involves merging two distinct cultures, aligning the workforce with new goals, and addressing resistance to change. This presentation will cover the nature of the problem, key issues identified, the application of theories, our proposed solutions, and lessons learned. Let's begin by understanding the case for this study and significant challenges that TPCODL encountered during this transition. Over to Prerna.
TPCODL's privatization presented a unique case in India as it was the first time an entire state's electricity distribution was successfully transitioned to private management. While the move aimed to improve efficiency, it also brought challenges relating to integrating employees from government roles into a private organizational framework. Three major issues emerged. One, parallel hierarchies. The coexistence of old government reporting structures with the new private setup led to confusion, conflicting directives, and delay in decision making. Secondly, resistance to change. Many government employees, accustomed to their fixed routines and roles, were reluctant to adapt to new technologies and the private sector culture. Thirdly, regulatory hurdles. Government laws safeguarding employees' rights unintentionally created additional barriers such as rigid entitlement that conflicted with private sector expectations. These challenges not only disrupted the operations but also created friction in aligning employee motivation with companies' privatization goals. Addressing these issues became the foundation of our study. Over to Muskan.
In order to tackle these challenges, we've applied well known organizational behavior theories and a systematic research methodology. First is Cotter's 8 step change model. This framework guided our approach to managing change by creating urgency for transition, building leadership coalitions, and clearly communicating a shared vision for the future. Then we have organizational cultural alignment. We explored workshops and training sessions to align employees with the privatization models focus on innovation, efficiency, and customer service. Then we have team building and leadership. Cross functional teams and leadership development were emphasized to foster collaboration between government and private employees. This we have done through primary and secondary research. In primary research, we've interviewed employees at various levels to understand their concerns about their inter and intra team communication and resistance points. Then, secondary research analyzed existing documentation from news and reports to identify structural and cultural challenges. Over to Ganesh.
Thank you, Muskan. So, as Muskan mentioned, the primary research part. So, we conducted our primary research through some of the employees of TPCODL and also some of our alums and seniors who had their SIPs at TPCODL. From there on, we identified three key issues here, which we are going to present in our findings. So, the first part is the structural conflicts. The presence of the two parallel hierarchies, the old government structure and the new private framework that is being implemented, is resulting in a lot of confusion and there's a lot of delay in the decision making process as well. The second thing that we take away from this insight is the fact that there's a lot of resistance to change. So a lot of government employees who used to have static roles or rigid systems and very set in place frameworks resisted the dynamic, the technology driven demands of the private sector. This resistance created pockets of non-compliance and also slowed the transition down the line. The third part is the regulatory changes. So while there were government laws which were designed to protect employees' rights during privatization, but they inadvertently caused operational bottlenecks by limiting flexibility in restructuring rules. Over to you, Swapnil.
Thank you, Ganesh. Based on our analysis, we propose a multifaceted solution to address the challenges at Tata Power Central Odisha Distribution Limited. The key suggestion includes structural changes. Conduct an organizational audit to identify conflicting report lines and restructure operation to streamline decision making. The second would be the cross functional team. Create teams with members of both the government and the private hierarchies to work on joint projects. This fosters collaboration and a mutual understanding. Third would be the training programs. Introduce a workshop and factory visit to familiarize employees with the new technologies and the privatization model. Highlight how their roles align with that of the organization. Fourth would be the transparent communication. Regular town halls and progress updates can build up the address trust and address the employee concerns. Fifth would be the phased implementation. Start with the short-term team building exercises and cultural integration activities, gradually processing to long-term structural realignment over the 2 years. The next would be the learnings that we have from this case. We learned that the addressing resistance proactively and aligning employees' motivation with the organizational goal is crucial for managing the changes effectively. Clear and consistent communication and gradually implementation can mitigate the risk and improve acceptance of the privatization model. Over to Nitin.
Thank you, Swapnil. So, concluding it all, our study highlights the importance of a phased and a systematic approach to managing change at TPCODL. The challenges of integrating government employees into a private structure, such as structural conflicts, resistance to change, and regulatory barriers, can be addressed through targeted solutions. Our recommendations include implementing structural changes, fostering collaboration through cross functional teams, conducting training programs, and ensuring transparent communication. A gradual transition aligned with employee needs and organizational goals will help mitigate risk and pave the way for a smoother integration process. At last, I'd like to say that by addressing resistance proactively and aligning employees with the privatization vision, TPCODL can achieve its strategic objectives effectively and build a sustainable, unified organizational culture. So that's all from our side. Thank you all for your time and we look forward to your feedback and suggestions.